सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ योगे ॐ समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं Hari Om. Welcome to this 43rd episode of Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the through the lens of Bhagavan Sri Adisankaracharya. So yesterday we saw in verse 20, verse 14. Abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa nanyagamina paramam purusham divyam yati partha anuchintayan. So through abhyasa, the only thing that we need to do is to remember the name, remember the form, remember the emotion or the feeling of Bhagavan. Because whatever we remember, whatever feeling we entertain at the point of the separation of the life and the body, we go to that place. Bhagavan says, not only about him, if you remember Bhagavan, Ananya Cheta Satatam Yomam Smarati Nityashaha Tasyaham Sulabha Partha. He says, with one pointed concentration, if one remembers me, I am very easy to attain for that person. He says, not only me, whatever you think and whatever you feel at the moment of death, if you feel anger, if you feel hatred, if you feel jealousy, if you feel fear, if you feel worry, if you feel anxiety, you will go to places which give you more and more anxiety, more and more worry. Go to places means not visit and come back. The next lifetime will be spent in such places. And we will not be able to figure out why we are like this and for what reason we are living like this. So this is this factor about the next lives is not only there in the Bhagavad Gita or in our Shastras. Our modern day scientists and doctors, psychiatrists like Dr. Brian Weiss, who has written very beautiful books called Many Lives, Many Masters, Only Love Can Heal, Life Between Lives. Dr. Michael Newton, who is also a psychiatrist who has done many past life regressions. They speak about whatever is a predominant emotion. For example, there are two warring countries or two warring groups. And in one warring group A, the person has a predominant emotion of hatred towards group B. It can be any religion or it can be any nationality, between two nationalities, between two communities, whatever it is. So group A, the person has got a predominant feeling of hatred towards group B. And the group B person has got a predominant feeling of hatred towards group A. In this lifetime, in the conscious mind, they are thinking group B is different and group A is different. But once that person dies, once the person leaves the body and they are born in the next lifetime, the group B person will be born in group A family. And the group A person will be born in group B family. Just like in shuttle badminton, you send the shuttlecock to the other side, it goes to the other side only. It doesn't go anywhere else. Where it is directed, it goes there. and it is received and returned from the other side to this side. So this shuttle badminton game is happening in terms of the jiva. But once this person goes to group B, does he realize that he was fighting with these people all this time? He does not know that, because at the point of birth, your past life memories are all shut. You do not have any memories of who you were in the past life, who were your enemies, who were your friends, nothing was there. But the hatred has not gone. The hatred is there inside. So the hatred continues when he lives, when the group A person lives as a group B person, and the group B person lives as a group A person. Since the hatred is there, now the formerly group A person will be now in group B, and he will be hating group A, and the formerly group B person who will be living in the family of group A will be hating group B. So this is the reason why our wars never end. There is no solution to any dispute through wars or through fighting. Only through understanding there is liberation. Otherwise, there is no liberation at all. So Bhagavan says, whatever is your predominant emotion at the time of departure from this body, the life will go and be born with that emotion in that circumstances and surroundings. So when this is the case, the only thing that needs to be done is, you remember me, you remember Bhagavan means, you remember the feeling of I exist. The feeling of I am is Bhagavan. We have so many feelings. The closest feeling of to feeling of I am is a feeling of love. There is a very beautiful Tirumandiram. Love and life are one. In Tirumandiram, love and self are one. Love and Bhagavan are one. Anbum Shivamum Irandenbar Arivilar Anbe Shivamavad Yarum Marigilar Anbe Shivamavad Yarum Marildapil Anbe Shivamai Amaldirildare. So there is only love. Love and Shiva, love and life, love and God are one. Anbum Shivamum Irandenbar Arivilar. But people who do not have the wisdom will say, love is different, God is different. Anbe Shivamavadu Yarum Arigilar. Nobody knows that love alone is God. Anbe Shivamavadu Yarum Arindapin. Once they know that love alone is God, what do they do after that? Anbe Shivamai Amarndirindare. They live as love, they sit as love, they sit as God. So, once you realize that chanting the name of Bhagavan is the only thing that we need to do, because whatever actions we do, whatever work we do, we are doing karma yoga. We are working in office, we are going here, we are going there, we are spending our time usefully. And what does all the work do to us? The work makes our mind integrated and one-pointed. And with that integrated and one-pointed mind, we can achieve anything that we want in life. But achieving anything that we want in life will again take us back into samsara, into birth and death. So when that is not wanted, with all the work that you do, and you're able to focus the mind on God, you do that only action of remembering God, serving God, thinking about God, helping in divine work wherever we go. When we live such a life, at the end of point of time, there'll be no other feeling left in us except the feeling of Ishvara, except the feeling of Bhagavan. And with that feeling, when we leave this world, there is no doubt that we will reach that Bhagavan. And Bhagavan Sri Krishna explains in many verses what is the nature of that Bhagavan. What is that feeling of that Bhagavan? Bhagavan Sri Krishna explains, we saw that. And we are coming into this 22nd verse today. 22nd verse. Purushassa paraf partha bhaktya labhyastvananyaya yasyantasthani bhutani yena sarvamidam tatam. Purushaha sa paraha partha. O Partha, how do you reach that God? You say reach God, reach God. Can we put a ladder and reach God? Can we climb the ladder, go to the terrace? Hey God, please come here. You shout in the terrace. Is God going to come there? He may come, but we may not know that he is there. How do we really know and reach God? Purushaha sa paraf partha, paraf purushaha, that supreme Purusha, that supreme self, bhaktya labhyaha. He is attainable by love. He is attainable by bhakti. To Ananya. What kind of bhakti? Ananya bhakti. You don't think for 10 minutes you think about God, and rest of the time you wonder what is happening in the share market or what is a mutual fund investment I can do, and think about the gossip of the next house, who ran away with whom, what happened to that person, why did this person score such low marks. He was going on wasting his time with this girlfriend and that boyfriend, and now they failed the exam. All this gossip, if you are doing, that is not called Ananya Bhakti. Ananya Bhakti is morning from the time of waking up till the time of going to sleep at night. You have only one thought in your mind, and that thought is God. That is Ananya Bhakti, love of God, love for God. Yasya antasthani bhutani. If they have that kind of a devotion within them, yena sarvam idam tatam. By whom this whole universe is covered. Who is that? That whole universe is covered by this love of God. This whole universe is covered by consciousness, and that consciousness identifies itself as love in Ishvara, and this whole universe is covered by the love of Ishvara. Yena sarvam idam tatam. If you remember with love, then you can reach that Ishvara. Purushaha. Who is that Purusha? Purusha means, in our local language, whether it's in Sanskrit or in many other Indian languages also, the word Purusha refers to man. But here, the meaning is Puri Shayanat, Purnatvat, Va Sa Paraha Partha Puro Paraha, Niratishayaha, Yasmat Purushat, Na Param Kinchit, Sa Bhaktya Labhyaha. Who is that Purushaha? Puri Shayanat, the one who sleeps in our Puri. Puri means this body. Navadware Pure Dehi. This body is called a Puri. The one who sleeps in this Puri is Purusha. And what is the nature of that Purusha? Purnatvat. Purna means complete. Like if you make a dough of wheat for chapati, the dough is Purnam. Wherever you press the dough, only wheat will be there. Whether you press it from top or press it from the side or press it from the bottom or pull it and put it back somewhere else and then press that part, there will be only wheat everywhere. In the same way, this Purusha is spread all over us like the butter in the milk. If in those days, once upon a time, maybe 30 years, 40 years before, we used to get almond milk in milk bottles, and the milk bottles will have a metal cap. It'll be very easy. Even children can lift a metal cap. And we used to fight for that metal cap, because as soon as the milk bottle is delivered, children in the family will run to the milk bottle, because if you remove the metal cap, there'll be a layer of butter on top, because the milk is coming from the factory through transit. It has been jumping on the vehicle, on the truck or the lorry, or wherever it has been transported. It has been shaking and shaking, and so the layer of butter will form in the cap, and the butter will be so tasty. So we will all fight for that butter. In the same way, who is the butter? That is why we call Krishna butter thief, butter thief. Krishna is that butter. Krishna is that consciousness which is spread as like butter in our body. Purnatvat va sa paraf partha paro niratishayaha. Atishayam means there is a limit. Niratishaya, no limit. That Purusha is spread inside us. Yasmat Purushat na param kinchit sa bhaktya labhyaha. How to get that Purusha? See, something which is beyond our capacity to reach. For example, space is there. Space is beyond our capacity to reach. But with love, you can gain it. How I'm saying this? Like now we are talking about this person who has gone from India, Shubham, I think, who has gone to this ISS space station. Space is, you cannot take space, you cannot hold space, you cannot catch space. But with love means you aspire for it. How you get it? You aspire to go to space, you train yourself, you work hard for it. You collect all the resources for it, and then finally one day you are able to be in space. So this is a very normal, it is not a complete example, but it is a somewhat relatable example. So in the same way, if I want to attain that Purusha, that supreme being, who is even more subtle than space. Space, at least we can feel, we can relate to, we can see, at least visualize, we can think about, we can experience being, like when we see people who come from space, Sunita Williams, and we see visions of people floating in that space station, going by the side or flying up and down and all that. You can have those visuals. But this Supreme Purusha is not available for any visual of the mind, because it's beyond the mind. Also, तु ज्ञानलक्षणया अनन्यया आत्मविषयया यस्य पुरुषस्य अंतस्थानि मध्यस्थानि कार्यभूतानि भूतानि भक्त्या लभ्यः. तु, with who is that Purusha? The Lakshana of the Purusha is Jnana Lakshana. Jnana Lakshanaya. Through the Purusha is in the form of Jnana. The Purusha is in the form of knowledge. Purusha is in the form of wisdom. Ananyaya, Atma Vishayaya. What wisdom? The wisdom of the self. Not any other wisdom. Not the wisdom of the world. Not the wisdom of emotional well-being. Not the wisdom of financial wellness. Not all that. Wisdom of Atma, the self. Yasya Purushasya Antasthani Madhyasthani Karyabhutani Bhutani Karyam hi Karanasya Antavartim Bhavati. So Karyam, the effect, is the result of the Karana, the cause. Yena Purushena Sarvam Idam Jagat Tatam Vyaptam Akashena Iva Ghatadi. Just as the space, for example, this water bottle is there. This water bottle is covered by space. The water bottle is surrounded by space. Inside this water bottle also there is space. Akashena iva ghatadi purushena sarvam idam jagat tatam vyaptam. In the same way, replace space with Purusha. This Purusha is covering us, covering this whole existence of all the beings with names and forms. Purusha is covering. The Purusha alone is present inside. The Purusha alone is present outside. So that is the Purusha we are talking about. That is the Purusha who can be reached with love. Prakritanam yoginam pranavaveshita brahmabuddhinam kalantara muktibhajam brahma pratipattaye uttaraha margo vaktavya iti yatra kale ityadi vivakshitartha samarpanartham uchyate. Avritti marga upanyasa itara marga stutyarthaha. Whoever is keeping their mind in that pranava, in that omkara, at one point of time when they depart from this body, they will attain mukti. Even in the body, they are free, and once they go, it is a certain case that they are free. When the shlokas following are talking about what is the way to which we reach Brahman. Yatra kale tvanavrittim avrittim chaiva yoginaha. What are the ways by which we can reach Brahman, and what are the ways by which we move away from Brahman? Both are referred in this 23rd verse. Yatra kale tvanavrittim avrittim chaiva yoginaha prayata yanti tam kalam vakshyami bharatarshabha. Sri Krishna, in the midst of the battlefield, has all the time for Arjuna to give the knowledge of that supreme truth to Arjuna. Yatra kale tu anavrittim avrittim chaiva yoginaha. So, in which time, in which phase is the you reach that Parama Purusha, that supreme being, and you don't come back. And which time you go, you will come back. So, it is in simple terms, if you say, in which time or in which conditions you go to United States, you will never come back, meaning you will be absorbed and you will get a citizenship and you can stay there as long as you want. If you go through this path and you observe all these rules, you can go to United States, and then after some point of time, when you get the H1B visa, then you get a green card, and then you apply for citizenship and you get citizenship. You, it is not cannot come back, you need not come back, because it's only United States. If you want, you can come back to India also. But if you go through which path, if you go through which path means if you go through the path of forgery, of stealing, and doing whatever manipulation, and then finally by some means you cannot do, when you do all this you cannot reach, but finally at one point of time you reach US, and then you have to come back, because for some reason you will get caught there and you have to return. So yatra kali, in the same way, by which path you go, you reach that Supreme Purusha and you never come back. You don't need to come back. Just like USA, if you want to come back, you can come back. But there will be no need, because the place will be so blissful and you will have whatever you really want. And you are so powerful. You are the supreme ruler of this whole universe. And you know who you are also on top of that. There is no need for knowledge also. The knowledge of the self also is available, and you have all the powers at your disposal. Why would anyone want to come back and suffer unless they really have to come back for some other reason, for some other cause? So, yatra kale tu anavrittim, avrittim chaiva yoginaha. For the yogi, the person who has integrated his body, mind, and intellect, in which time he travels, he need not come back, and which time he travels, he has to come back. Like, for example, we celebrate Bhishma Ashtami. The Ashtami for which Bhishma waited in the around the month of January and February it comes. There is a time Bhishma waited for Uttarayanam period to leave the body. So that why he had to leave at that time, he did not want to come back to this world. And so that is the reason why he left. So that is the time that Bhagavan is talking to us about. He is enlightening us about the astronomical times by which, like, even if you are not a self-realized being for whom that supreme space is assured, even if you're only a sadhaka and you're doing sadhana with knowledge of the Jyotisha Shastra. So this is basically the knowledge of Jyotisha, like the whole universe is spinning at particular periods of time. You have got the Uttarayana Kala, the Dakshinayana Kala, and all these periods of time are there. When you do certain things in certain time, the results will be in this manner. It will be assured. If you do certain things at a different time, the results are not going to be assured. So that is a period that Bhagavan is talking about. Yatra yasmin kale tu anavrittim apunarjanma avrittim tad viparitam cha eva. In which time when we depart, there will be anavritti, means we don't come back. In which time we depart, there will be avritti, we have to come back. Yogina iti yoginaha karminaha cha uchyate. For the karmi. Karmi means the one who is doing karma. Yogi is a karma. Karmina. Karmina means the one who is doing action. There are two types of people. The people who are being and the people who are doing. Both of them have. There is doing, being, and having. Having is common for both. But people who are just being in the state of love, being in the state of wisdom, they are the Sankhyas. The people who are doing to achieve something, they are the yogis. And so for these people, it is for the yogis, in which path, if you strive to go, you will be able to go and not return. In which time, if you go, you will have to return. So a yogi is a person who can fix his time of death. If we are doing yoga sadhana, this is not a challenge. This is a possibility. I'm not saying that so many people are doing yoga I am also practicing yoga. I am practicing meditation. But it is not a challenge saying that if you are a yogi, this will happen. No. The possibility is if you are a yogi and you are intense on the path of yoga, then you can figure out how you want to depart from this world, whether you want to come back or you don't want to come back. It is up to us. It can be done. The possibility is there. योगिनः च उच्यते कर्मिणः तु गुणतः कर्मयोगेन योगिनाम् इति विशेषणात् योगिनः कर्मिणः तु गुणतः कर्मयोगेन योगिनाम्. Even the people who are engaged in action by form of their quality, when you say karma yoga, I am not identified as a doer of the action and I am not identified with the results of the action. Action is just flowing through me because something has to be done. I am giving my full self and allowing the action to happen through me. So that is a karma yogi. In the karma yogi also, in terms of his nature, in terms of his personal nature, he is a yogi. And so that is why the yogi and the karma yogi are spoken of together. Iti visheshanat yoginaha. Yatra kale prayata mrita yoginaha anavrittim yanti. Yatra kale cha prayata avrittim yanti. Tam kalam vakshyami bharatarshava. I will talk to you about that time, that period of time. When you go, you will not come back. When you go, you reach that Parama Purusha, and there is nothing else after that to come back. You know, when you say, I have become, I have, would anybody else want to exchange that condition for anything that is lesser than that situation? They would not want to do. So that is the path that Bhagavan is describing. Agnir Jyotiraha Shuklaha. Have I left something? Because this is not what I studied this morning. Oh my God. Have I moved ahead? This is the third day of our session, right? So I think I have gone ahead by missing some verses. Yesterday we saw till 14th. So I should have begun from 15th verse to 21st verse, right? Or am I do not know. I'm not having any feedback on this live channel. I wish at one point of time there's a lot of feedback so that somebody can catch me immediately when I am slipping away from the verse numbers. 14. Yes, I think. Okay. Wonderful. So we have to begin from 15th verse today. Let's see how much I'm able to cover. So the 14th verse yesterday was Ananya Cheta Satatam Yomam Smarati Nityashaha Tasyaham Sulabha Partha Nityayuktasya Yoginaha. For the yogi who's constantly thinking about me, I am very easily available. That was the 14th verse. 15th verse is, anyway, we have gone advanced, and let us come back to the 15th verse now. We take a few steps back. We are into the 15th verse of chapter 8. Mamupetya punarjanma dukkhalayama shashvatam napnuvanti mahatmanaha samsiddhim paramam gataha. Mam upetya, having reached me, Bhagavan. So yeah, that is where we stopped yesterday. What is the point of looking out for you, Bhagavan? If suppose the doubt is coming, why should I know you? Why should I know Bhagavan? Why should I know somebody is the prime minister or somebody is the president or somebody is whatever? Because being a citizen of a country, that knowledge is very good because it helps us. So in the same way, why should I know who is Bhagavan? If you reach Bhagavan, if you know who is Bhagavan, you will strive to reach Bhagavan. Why should I reach Bhagavan? Mam upetya punarjanma dukkha alayam ashashvatam na apnuvanti mahatmanaha. The great people, the wise beings, if they know me, if they know who I am, if they know who that self is, if they know who that Bhagavan is, they will not reach this dukkha alayam. We go to so many temples. We go to Kailash Manasarovar. We go to many holy places. we go to Kanchi Kamakshi temple, Kashi Vishalakshi temple, we go to Rameshwaram, we go to Tiruchendur, we go to Omkareshwar, we go to Kedarnath, we go to Badrinath, we go to many temples. But this whole world is a temple. You know, this world is a temple for one God. You know who is that God in this temple? Dukkha Alayam. The name of the deity is Dukkha. The name of the deity who lives in this temple called the earth is Dukkha or sorrow. This whole world is a temple for this God of sorrow. And when you go to a temple and you worship that God will bless you. So, what will this deity living in this world called sorrow or dukkha bless you with? May you have more and more dukkha in this life. May you be blessed with dukkha. May you be blessed with a lot and lot of sorrows. Because according to this earth, the philosophy of this earth, the more sorrows you have, the more purer you become. So this is dukkha alayam. It is not only dukkha alayam, it is not, even if the sorrow is permanent, it is okay. Somehow we will get resigned to it and we will get to love sorrow at one point of time. But it is not even permanent. There are temporary sparks of joy also we experience. Dukkha alayam ashashvatam. Even that sorrow is not permanent. That is the sadness of this earth. There is a sorrow of this earth, that even sorrow, the deity of sorrow, only sometimes she will give us sorrow. Other times we'll enjoy pleasure. So we never, when you enjoy pleasure, you are impervious to the dangers. You don't know about the dangers of the world. So you get into something very easily, which is pleasurable. So this, when you know God, when you know that Purusha, you don't come back into this world. Some siddhim paramam gataha. Why they don't come back? Because they've achieved that complete point of liberation. And so the next verse. These shlokas will read almost like an astrological treatise this in this 8th chapter especially. So what does Bhagavan Adisankaracharya say? Dukkhalayam, dukkhanam, adhyatmikadinam, alayam, ashrayam, aliyante yasmin dukkhani iti dukkhalayam janma. This janma or this birth, once I went to the doctor, he was a very nice cardiologist. And I was there in the hospital from morning 10 o'clock. I got to meet the doctor at 3:30, which means there were so many patients waiting to meet the doctor. And I was just because there was only a 3-minute conversation with him. I said, I was just talking about my difficulties in this life. Everything is fine. But sometimes when I'm getting triggered by something, somebody is doing something to me, that is the time I get jittery. And the doctor is giving me wisdom. He says, we are all born in this. This is a cardiologist talking. And I'm thinking, how come he's talking from the Bhagavad Gita? We are all born in this world to experience sorrow. So the doctor says, don't worry about all this. Don't take it to heart. Don't think too much about all this. Because God gives us sorrow in this world. So that is what Bhagavan Shri Krishna is also telling. Dukkha alayam ashashvatam. Adhyatmikadinam alayam ashrayam aliyante. There are 3 types of sorrows. Adi daivika, Adi bhautika, Adhyatmika. Adi daivika is the sorrows that we get from unseen forces, like from the skies, the falling of a stone from space, or the falling of a comet, or even it is a big earthquake, or it is a big typhoon, it is a tsunami, or it is a windy, it's a gale situation. So many forces of nature we have. Adi daivika. Then Adi bhautika is people around us, from the beings around us. It can be cats, dogs, animals, lions, tigers, corona, virus, or it can be human beings around us who are giving us trouble. Adi bhautika. Adhyatmika, nobody else needs. No God or no human being or no animal needs to give us trouble. We know how to give trouble for ourselves by wrong diet, by not sleeping properly, by not exercising, by not living a life of joy and happiness, by living a life of anger, hatred, jealousy. We give trouble to ourselves. Adhyatmika. These are the types of sorrows these are the only 3 types of sorrows that we face in life. Adhyatmikadinam. And all the 3 types of sorrows, where are they having their refuge? They're having their refuge in this world. Dukkha alayam. Na kevalam dukkhalayam. It is not only dukkhalayam, it is ashashvatam. Anavastita rupam. Anavastita means very, very interesting. If you see this in all companies, in all offices, in government offices, or even in life in general, once a child is put into LKG, no, the child is very happy the first day of school, not first day of school, maybe the first month after going to school, after the crying is over, the first month of school, the child is happy to go to school. And the child completes LKG, and then the desire to go to UKG is there. Anavasthitatva means nobody stays in that same zone, same place at all times. It is not like people don't stay in the same position in their lives. They keep moving on, they keep falling sometimes, they are always disturbed from their position. Anavasthitatva, anavasthita rupam च न आप्नुवन्ति ईदृशं पुनर्जन्म महात्मानः यतयः संसिद्धिं मोक्षाख्यां परमां प्रकृष्टां गताः प्राप्ताः ये पुनः न मां ये पुनः न माम आपनुवन्ति ते न आवर्तन्ते. They do not come back. So they reach that supreme place and they don't come back. किं पुनः तत्त्वतः अन्यत् प्राप्ताः पुनः आवर्तन्ते इति उच्यते. किं पुनः त्वत्तः अन्यत् प्राप्ताः पुनः आवर्तन्ते. So what is it? If they don't reach you, then they will come. Who are those people? If they don't reach you, they will come back. Is it so? Arjuna's question is there. So uchyate, Bhagavan is saying, Abrahma bhuvana lokaha punaravartinorjuna mamupetya tu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. So are there places after we go? Death is not the final destination. After the individual being dies, there are many places to which they go, and from where they come back. Brahma bhuvana lokaha. There are 14 worlds. Bhuhu, 7 worlds, and the higher realms. Higher realms means the more joyous, the more blissful realms of being. 7 worlds, and there are 7 worlds, the lower realms, the realms of difficulties. Difficulties means it's not difficult in our understanding. It is not painful or sorrowful. It is just that we will be blissfully remaining like a pig. It's a pig life is very nice for the pig. So that way it is not preferable for us. If you really think deeply, there are 14 worlds down and 14 worlds up. Abrahma bhuvanan lokaha punaravartinojuna. These 14 worlds up to the Brahma Loka, where Brahmaji resides, Satya Loka, all these worlds you come back. And even the Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Rasatala, Patala, they are not talking about the 14, they are not talking about the lower 7 worlds, where if you are not if you are not behaving yourself like a human being, you go to those worlds. For example, a human being is not expected to steal. A human being is expected to do hard work and provide for himself and provide for others. But if the human being is constantly going on stealing, no, the action of stealing is being done by the human being, picking other people's pockets, the hand is going in this manner. For doing this work, a human body is not required. That SIM card need not be in this phone, in this method. The SIM card is enough to be fit in a monkey. The monkey can do the job. Like in those days, we used to have these ordinary phones where the SIM card will only, with that phone, you will only be able to talk and send SMS messages. So like that kind of a body is enough to do only this work of taking from other places. So there are 7 lokas beneath and 7 lokas above. Bhuhu, the earth plane. Bhuvaha is the plane of our ancestors, where our ancestors who have lived and gone, they are living there. Suvaha is the places of all the gods like Indra, Varuna, Vayu, all the powers of nature live in Suvaha. Mahaha is the place where the beings of compassion, all these people like Buddha, the great masters, they're all living in the Maharloka. Janaloka is where the people like, who are they? The great Siddhas and the great rishis living in Janaloka. Tapoloka is where the great tapasvins are living, people who have lived a life of great tapas and they've got a lot of shakti, they've got a lot of power. All the great gods are living in the Tapoloka. And then the Satyaloka is where Brahmaji lives. Brahmaji and Ma Saraswati. And what happens in Satyaloka? Every day there will be satsanga. You have to attend satsanga regularly in Tapoloka. That also will be very difficult. There'll be no, like you go, you do all this sadhana and you go to Brahmaloka. And then you say every day Brahmaloka is boring because only satsanga. That is what, when you have a satsanga on earth, that is what people say. They don't come for satsanga. It is boring. The same Ramayana is being repeated every day. They will tell. So Brahmaloka, there will be satsanga. It will be very beautiful, but it will be beautiful for people who like satsanga, people who love satsanga. But whether you like satsanga or you love satsanga, even one day you cannot miss satsanga. It is wrong to miss satsanga. If you miss that, even from Brahmaloka, you will come back to Bhuloka because there is some purification left. Abrahma bhuvanan lokaha punaravartinaha Arjuna. If you go to if you try very hard, do all the actions that are required, and you manage to go to Swarga, no use, because you have to come back. After some time living there, you have to come back to earth and go to LKG, UKG, first standard college, work, get married or not get married, or live whatever life that time it is going to happen in that generation of your lifetime. Face all the wars and face all the conditions, face all the viruses and battle with everything and die. In that janma, you do not know whether you will get this kind of a knowledge ambience, whether this you will get this kind of a, the teaching of the Bhagavad Gita will come to you. We don't know. So, Abrahma bhuvanat bhavanti yasmin bhutani iti bhuvanam brahma bhuvanam brahma lokaha ityartaha. What is resting on this earth, with this earth as a substratum, the lokas that are exist. Loka is lokyate anena iti lokaha. That by which we look out is called loka. It is like the lens that we wear. A loka is a lens. Like Bhuloka is the lens of the earth atmosphere. Bhuvarloka is the lens of the Pitru atmosphere, the ancestral atmosphere. Suvarloka is the lens of the divine atmosphere of the powers of the devas. Abrahma bhuvanat saha Brahma bhuvanena lokaha sarve punaravartinaha punaravartana swabhava. Hey Arjuna, mam ekam upetya tu kaunteya punarjanma punarutpatti na vidyate. There is no punarjanma, there is no rebirth for the person who has all the lokas up to Brahmaloka also we have to come back. Brahmaloka sahita lokaha kasmat punaravartinaha kala parichinnatvat katham. So how is it that from Brahmaloka and other lokas we have to come back? Because they are all separated by time. We say timelines these days. It's very multiple timelines. You are living lives in multiple timelines. You are living parallel lives in other timelines. The timelines are these lokas only. So what are these timelines? They are all separated by time. In Brahmaloka, there's a very interesting story. One person wanted to go and meet Brahmaji because his daughter is not getting married. He prayed to Brahmaji. He got an appointment with Brahmaji and he went to meet Brahmaji. Brahmaji had just gone out for a second and then he came back and he said, yes, what is your problem? Why have you come here to meet me? He said, my daughter is not married. And so I want her to get married. I want a suitable bridegroom for her. Which daughter? Not married, because by the time he went to Brahmaloka, this girl for whom he is praying, she has become a grandmother. So much of years have passed by in that 1 second of Brahmaji. So that is this is a story, but this is a difference in timelines of different lokas. Sahasra yuga paryantam aharyad brahmano viduhu ratrim yuga sahasrantam teho ratra vido janaha. That Brahmaji, Sahasra Yuga Paryantam, at the end of Sahasra Yugas, a yuga is, that is, a yuga is Kali Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Satya Yuga. There are 4 different types of yugas, and out of which Kali Yuga, in which we are living now, we have 4,32,000 years in that constitute Kali Yuga, and you say people talk about end of Kali Yuga, but since Kali Yuga began, we have only crossed 5,123 or 24 years now since Kali Yuga started. So that much only, we have not even touched the tip of the Kali Yuga from the bottom, from the starting point. Sahasra Yuga Paryantam, Sahasram Yugani. So like this Kali Yuga, 2 times of Kali Yuga is Dwapara Yuga, 8,64,000 years. 3 times of Kali Yuga is Treta Yuga, and 4 times of Kali Yuga is Satya Yuga. And Brahmaji, it is very, very interesting. Even for me, I am not a very mathematical person, but somehow I managed up to 10th standard and I completed the exam, and after that I have taken only English literature. So I don't delve, I can do these calculations, I can work it out, but they will remain on paper, they will not stay on my head. So I will see what Bhagavan Adisankaracharya says. Sahasra Yuga Paryantam, Sahasra Yugani Paryantaha. Thousands of yugas, until the end of thousands of yugas, Paryavasanam Yasya Ahanaha Tat Ahaha Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Brahmana Prajapatehe Virajaha Viduhu. So this Brahma Prajapati lives for thousands of yugas. So in my language, I would say, like how small children will tell, how much you love Amma so much. So we should just understand that so many yugas Brahmaji is living. I mean, unlimited, you cannot count. You cannot count, or you cannot understand how many yugas Brahmaji is living. Sahasra Yuga Paryantam. Avyaktad Vyaktaya Sarvaha Prabhavantya Haragame Ratriagame Praliyante. Sorry, the next verse. Avyaktad Vyaktaya Sarvaha Prabhavantya Haragame Ratriagame Praliyante Tatraiva Vyakta Samyake. Avyaktat Vyaktaya Sarvaha Prabhavanti Ahar Agame. From Avyakta, from unmanifest to Vyakta, to the manifest. Prabhavanti Ahar Agame Ratri Agame Praliyante Tatraiva Avyakta Samyake. So when the day comes, this Avyakta, from the unmanifest, people come into manifest. And when night comes, from the manifest, people go into unmanifest. What does Bhagavan Adisankaracharya say? Avyaktat avyaktam prajapatehe swapavastha tasmat avyaktat vyaktayaha vyajyante iti vyaktayaha. From the sleep state of Brahma Prajapati, Vyakta, from the sleep state of Brahma, he comes manifest during the daytime of Brahma, which is many yugas put together. Stavara Jangama Lakshanaha Sarvaha Prajaha Prabhavanti. So how does Brahma manifest in this world? Brahma manifests as the trees, the plants, the birds, the animals, and the human beings. Prabhavanti Abhivyajante Ahana Agamaha Aharagamaha Tasmin Aharagame Kale Brahmanaha Prabodha Kale. Day is the waking of Brahma. Day means the day of this universe, the creation of this universe. And then the dissolution of the universe is the night of Brahma. Tatha Ratriagame Brahmanaha Swapakale Praliyante Sarva Vyaktayaha Tatra Eva Purvokte Avyakta Samyake. During the night time of Brahma, Brahmaji goes to sleep, meaning all creation goes to permanent sleep for a long period of time. Akrita Bhyagama Krita Vipranasha Dosha Pariharartham Bandhamoksha Shastra Pravritti Sapalya Pradarshanartham Avidyadi Klesha Moola Karma Shayavashat Cha Avashaha Bhutagramaha Bhutva bhutva praliyate iti ataha samsare vairagya pradarshanartham cha idam aha. So what happens if we are not aware, if we do not live a life of awareness, we will go to all the different worlds and we will come back. We will go and we will come back. It is just like there was a great Mahatma and he wanted to show the people of a village. They thought that this Mahatma was a fool. What will he do? In the morning, he will get up. In the morning, he gets up and then he pushes one big boulder up the mountain. He pushes it, and then he goes up the mountain. When the sun is setting, he will just push that rock down. The rock will come rolling down and he will clap, 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 clap. He will be very happy. So everybody in the village is thinking he is a foolish man. The children all will clap. He'll also clap with all the children and he'll play like this. Every day in the morning, his job is pushing it up. And every day in the evening when the sun is setting, he'll push the boulder down and clap his hands and laugh. So these people of the village were thinking that he's a fool. Every day he's doing this work. Slowly, slowly, this Mahatma's glory began to spread all the world. Many people started inquiring. They asked, is there such a Mahatma living? And they mentioned this person's name. Oh, that fool you are searching for. Every day he goes and he pushes up the rock boulder up the mountain, and every day he'll push it down. So you're asking for that man? He's a stupid fellow. He's living there. And these people did not know that he's such a great Mahatma who's living. What is he trying to show? This precious life, we are pushing it up to Brahma Loka. And then with some desires, we're bringing it down. And we are being born in earth again. So, that is what is the next verse. Bhuta gramasya vayam bhutva bhutva praliyate ratriagame vashaf partha prabhavatyah ragame bhuta gramaha sayevayam. This is a bhuta grama. We don't need to live in this village and that village, Gopala Samudram and Amba Samudram and Kallukudi and Karaikudi and so many places. There are villages there. We are a village by ourselves. We are a Bhuta Grama. Grama means a collection of 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space. Bhuta Gramaha Sayeva Ayam Bhutva Bhutva Praliyate. We become, there's a very beautiful song by Rajaji. Nandavanatil oru aandi avan naalaru maadamai kuyavanai vendi கொண்டு வந்தானே ஒரு தோண்டி அதை கூத்தாடி கூத்தாடி போட்டுடை தாண்டி நந்தவனத்தில் ஒரு ஆண்டி. இந்த நந்தவனம், in the garden, there is an andi, there is a beggar. Beggar is what? A human being. Okay. Avan 4-6 மாதமாய், for 4 + 6 months, that is 10 months, he prayed to God. Pray. I pray to God. I want a pot. And so he got this pot. What is that pot? This body. And what did he do with that body? Kuttadi, pottudai tandi. He just had fun. He had pleasures. He enjoyed. He spent all his energy. All the water in the pot got spilled. Then he broke the pot also. So that is what we are doing. Praliyate, bhutva praliyate. The five elements are all made together into the body. It becomes a body, and becoming, it always goes back. There's also this Tirumandiram verse. Mannondru kandir iruvagai paathiram திண்ணென்றிருந்தது தீவினை சேர்ந்தது விண்ணின்ற நீர்விழில் மீண்டும் அள்ளானார் போல் எண்ணின்றி மாந்தர் இறக்கின்றவாரே. மண் ஒன்று கண்டீர். There's only one mud. இருவகை பாத்திரம். There are 2 types of vessels. Thin என்று இருந்தது. It was very, very strong. தீவினை சேர்ந்தது. When a lot of unwanted elements enter into that mud, into that vessel, விண்ணின்ற நீர் விழின், then what happens? Water falls from the sky. மீண்டும் மண்ணானார் போல், you leave those pots out in the ground and water comes from the sky. The water will wet that pot. It will make that pot soggy and the pot will become mud again. மீண்டும் மண்ணானார் போல் எண்ணின்றி மாந்தர் இறக்கின்றவாறே. There are crores and crores of people who are dying like this. Even now, even today in our life, we can see that is how people are living their lives, and that is how people also die. They die without even knowing what is the truth of who they are, fighting, creating wars, um, creating nuclear incident, threatening to devastate the whole world with their weapons. All that they are doing without even realizing the purpose of coming to this earth. You go to a university to study. You don't go to a university to create violence and fight with people and deface the university building and destroy the lives and livelihood of the people who are working there. We don't go to the university for that purpose. We don't come to this earth for that purpose. We come to this earth to learn who we are. Ratriagame vasha partha prabhavati haragame. So avashaha partha. Avashaha means without even our control, we keep being born and we keep dying. Bhutagramaha, Bhutasamudayaha, Stavara Jangama Lakshanaha, Yaha, Purvasmin Kalpe Asit, Sa eva ayam na anyaha bhutva bhutva aharagame praliyate. Punav punaha ratriagame ahanaha kshaye, avashaha aswatantraha eva partha prabhavati avashaha eva aharagame. The daytime we are born, we come manifest. Night time of the universe, we go into the unmanifest. And again, we don't have any control. How we went into sleep, like how we go to sleep the previous night, that way only we wake in the morning. We go into the sleep as an officer, we wake up as an officer. When we go to sleep as a peon, we wake up as a peon. When we go to sleep as a peon, we don't wake up as an officer the next day. So that when we die as a beggar, we will be born only as a beggar with only the desires of becoming rich, not the action, not the punya karma of trying to become rich. So that is what keeps happening until we realize the way by which we can achieve what we want. Yad upanyastam aksharam tasya प्राप्त्युपायः निर्दिष्टः ओमित्येकाक्षरं ब्रह्म इत्यादिना अथ इदानीम् अक्षरस्य एव स्वरूप निर्दिदिक्षया इदम् उच्यते अनेन योगमार्गेण इदं गन्तव्यम् इति. So enough is enough said about the scaremongering about coming back to this earth or being born again. What is the way to reach that supreme self? So Bhagavan is talking about the next verse, which we will see tomorrow. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet, Om Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasorma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Boliye Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj ki Jai. Har Namah Parvati Pataye. Har Har Mahadeva. Hari Om.